What is up, everybody, on a Memorial Day?
Hello.
We're out here working.
Well,
well,
I had the day off.
I'm working. Hope y'all are doing well. I'm Chad Smith.
I'm Tierney Smith.
And we are Oklahoma at the Voice of College Football channel, the Sooner Smith Show.
Yes.
We're still working on that branding. I got to remember to say that last part of it.
Absolutely. And
awesome.
we are here every Monday at 7 p.m. I know we said no show. Jonathan said, surprise.
Yeah, no joke.
And really, though. I was able to, I don't want to say convince Chad.
Rather quick.
But
yeah. Don't think it'll be as long as last week, but T wanted to hop on for sure and talk about Women's College World Series. And then we had some kind of breaking news that I thought was important, especially with the NIL talk that we've been having, and just some other stuff going on that we thought we wanted to give our thoughts on, even though I'm going to be working after this, and then I literally just finished eating dinner, sadly. But
he scarfed it down in about 3 minutes.
Yeah. So going to be getting started on all of that, and wanted to drop.
Before we start,
yeah,
like the video, leave us a comment, subscribe to the channel, follow us on social medias. Our X pages are at the bottom. Also follow the Voice of College Football while you're at it. They also have Facebook and Instagram accounts as well. Just some good football content there. You can check out their new website. It has a lot of written content. Definitely for getting a good football fix while we are in the off season, because here at the Voice of College Football Oklahoma, there is no off season. So yeah, go ahead and check that out.
Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I retweet this. Go comment on the Twitter post if you see it that we retweeted.
I'm like twitching with my hair because it's like laying awkwardly and it's bothering me. Yeah.
I know, right? All right, well, let's talk about the breaking news this week that we got a signee, a defensive lineman out of Florida, one of the top players in the country. Top eights, again, just killing it on the recruiting trail. Really goes to show the cachet Oklahoma still has on the defensive side. Well, we know they have on the defensive side for sure, and I think the trust that a lot of people see in what BV is building still at Oklahoma, the ability for him to go out and get elite talent, and he beat out other players other people in the Harris's. By the way, his name is Brian Harris. I don't know if I even said that, but he's a 4-star defensive end, and he chose Harris. Harris chose OU over. It was like Alabama, Michigan, Penn State, and South Carolina. All are pretty solid teams.
Right.
Pretty good list.
Never bad to win over some of those.
Right. Never bad to win over. Known for their defensive players, so it's going to be that's going to be a big pickup for them. There was, and we talked last week. I thought it was interesting. I was interested to see who was going to become that next guy for Oklahoma, sort of like a David Stone was last year, where you really saw him lead the recruiting trail. 2 years ago, I guess, lead the recruiting trail for Oklahoma in terms of the high school level, and making sure they go out and they help recruit players that they know that are really good players that may not know much about Oklahoma or maybe on the fence about a recruiting trip or a visit, going out and really helping get those guys on campus and get them in to see the university and to meet the staff and whatnot. And I wanted to play some sound that we got from him. The OU Insiders at Thune and Brandon Drum, I believe, did the interview, but they had a lot of clips from the interview come up, and go give that a watch as well. But I wanted to play some sound from their interview just real quick about what they were able to kind of glean from him in terms of how he's going to be playing the recruiting trail and what he's going to be able to do while he's out there. So just wanted y'all to hear this, and then we'll give our thoughts about it. Real quick, make sure you guys have sound.
I want to make sure they understand the reason I picked it in the first place, because I feel like every time that a recruiter comes in and they come in and they're like, oh, Like, what's the reason why you chose here? Like, I'm gonna make sure that and instill in them what's the reason why this is just sets Oklahoma apart from everywhere else. And I feel like me being there, I feel like I don't even need to say much. Like they're gonna see it and they're gonna understand it, and I feel like it's gonna click for them too. And my biggest thing, I'm not only going to go to Oklahoma, their OV on that 6. I'm definitely going to come out way more times because I know a couple of high-end guys that are coming in and for their OVs, and I want to spend some time with them and put my recruiter hat on and support them too. I want to make sure they understand the reason why I picked it in the first place.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Right. I mean, there it is. How awesome is that to hear from a guy that just committed? And again, we talked about it last week. It's not a huge class for Oklahoma right now, especially not what you're used to. But we're a younger team, younger roster, and we're a team that is kind of developing their side of the ball in terms of the recruiting path they're taking. So, big pickup, I think, for sure for Oklahoma. Right. And again, just goes to show that there's still the name. It's still Oklahoma.
Right. And I already said it. Like, I think Todd Bates is a fantastic recruiter.
Yeah.
I think he is just very contagious with like his passion for the game and his passion for OU, and I think that's like comes off on his players, so they want to recruit others in. Obviously, if you're not sure about your commitment, or if you have if you have some reservations and anything like that, like you're not gonna want to drag other kids in with you.
Right.
But the fact that he's like, no, like there's some other big names, there's some other good guys, and I'm gonna try to convince them to come here. It's like, heck yeah, dude, like please. And to me, like that would be in the same way girlfriends can recruit to OU. Like, let's go ahead and have let's have the guy friends, let's have the bros
seriously
recruit.
Dude, they did too. That's wild. There was and I think it does mean a lot to hear other players. And I know that because coaches are always going to talk about their university in the highest regard, and it's something to hear a player say, look, I picked OU not just because of obviously the cachet and they put people in the NFL, but because of the kind of university it is, because of the kind of coaches that are there, give this a shot as well. And I think that it goes a long way with what Oklahoma's building. And I really do think, we're going to surprise so many people this year with how good our team is. Joe Klatt had John Mateer, number 3 quarterback in the country.
And who did he have before that?
I think, did he have Arch?
Yes.
Well, Joe went to Colorado. He's not known for his brains. So.
At 2, I believe it was Arch 2. Who was number 1?
It was. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I just blanked on that.
I'm like seeing everybody else on his list. Like Nussmeier was on there, Sellers was on there. Who is
Let's see if we can figure it out here. This is called live research, and I love it. It's the best thing to do. I don't know, but he has this number 25 in his top 25, which is also.
But he also said though that's like starting right now. He said if their offense is better than I anticipated.
Cade Klubnik, yeah. Which I honestly do not understand the Arch Manning stuff. I just don't get it, and I don't want to. I know we're talking about some recruiting. I want to also talk about since we're talking about quarterbacks. We all remember a former quarterback we had, in Nick Evers. His brother, the number 7 inside offensive lineman in the country, is picked us to be in his final. I believe it's final 8. What is this? I just had it pulled up, and then I went and looked.
I didn't see that.
His top 6.
Oh,
I remember,
fantastic.
by the way, when Nick Evers was getting recruited.
Wait.
What's up?
That's a different body type for brothers.
Yeah, dude, this dude, and you talk about athlete, dude, this dude moves well. I'm going to bring up a picture.
Mama Evers, she's real sweet on Twitter. Mama Evers just makes nothing but athletes. Definitely her genes. I don't know what dad's genes are, but I'm gonna give props to Mama.
In case you're wondering what just the size of him. Not a small dude. Look at that. Massive.
Wow.
And so he top 6 is SMU. By the way, I don't know who at SMU just reached into their pot of gold and said, take all of it and get everybody. They're flipping people from like Ohio State and Bama. It's crazy.
But it's SMU.
Yeah.
That's a rich people's school.
I know, but they've always had money.
And I don't mean that. Yeah, they've always had money, but now they can legally give it out.
Always had money. I know. Yeah, it's wild.
And Ohio State, deep pockets. Texas A&M, deep pockets. 3 of those schools, I know for sure.
Someone needs to make a clip of this face right here. By the way. Look at that. If you're watching, it's just terrible sound right now. But this guy looks like he just. Well, I won't make that. I almost made a political joke.
Looks like somebody ate all his Frosted Flakes. Yeah. What?
Anyway, so his final 6 are SMU, Ohio State, LSU, Penn State, Texas A&M, and Oklahoma, the University of Oklahoma in Norman. So that is another development here. It's always big to have guys like this that come from obviously his brother had the success he had at Flower Mound, and now at Oklahoma. I think if he just came in a different time, he was really not set up for a lot of success because of the timing of his arrival. But obviously his brother was super talented, was one of the top quarterbacks in the country out of high school, was very good at Flower Mound, and I really think coming from the family he comes from, it's all like you were saying about his mother. They're obviously great people. He's going to be raised right, be there on time or be early, do all the right things.
Work hard, go to class, make your grades.
Exactly.
The things you still have to do.
Exactly.
There. I'm going to give A&M one compliment.
Yep.
That is such a pretty dog. Look at her, Rebel.
Yeah.
Is that her name, Rebel?
I don't know. It's probably an AI dog, but it's not real.
No, she's a pretty girl.
That they really have a dog on the sidelines every game?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Really?
Never knew it.
Oh, I just like dogs, so they got Smokey in Tennessee.
Smokey?
Smokey.
I think I'm maybe.
Coonhound.
Oh yeah. I've seen Smokey. Yeah, you put him on your sign. Yeah, that's
I
right.
did. I'm gonna do it again this year too.
I know Georgia has the bulldog. I've seen
Georgia
that.
has Ugga. We have Rebel.
Now is Ugga? I mean, do they just keep passing through bulldogs and calling them Ugga, or is it Ugga one?
Okay,
thing?
so I went to Arkansas Tech. Dogs are the best. Jackson gets it, and.
Sure.
Arkansas Tech, it's like the Golden Suns and the Wonder Boys are the mascots, which are horrible. But then we have a campus ambassador named Jerry, and he's a bulldog. But yes, every new bulldog, they get Jerry.
So it's kind of like...
Yeah.
I almost said...
I mean, it's the same thing. And they're they'll Mike
works.
the Tiger 7 for the Tiger at
the
their...
7th?
Yeah, the Tiger at their
awesome.
games. I mean, they all have the same names.
Dogs are all...
What
dogs
other,
are all right.
Other dogs are there?
Other dogs?
I'm sure there's more. We used to have a dog. We used to have a little puppy dog. We still have Top Dog. He's in basketball, but we actually used to have a live dog.
My house had a small farm. We had 6 at one time,
dogs.
including a Dalmatian, which was awesome. By the way,
She wasn't very nice.
She what? The Dalmatian? Yeah, it was. My dog was our dogs were all nice. We had a Native American Indian breed that was like
he
a
was
wolf.
amazing.
Navarre. Howled like a wolf.
Sidetrack on dogs.
Yeah.
No, Lady and Boomer scared me. I used to run by your house when I was working out in the summers, and they'd both come barking and.
Look at my mom here with a just all time. Phil Robertson, by the way, Duck Dynasty, if you didn't know, passed away. He was, since we were talking about quarterbacks, he was the backup quarterback at Louisiana Tech.
Wait, who's backup quarterback at Louisiana Tech?
My bad, I read
was
that.
Terry Bradshaw.
Was Terry Bradshaw. Terry Bradshaw said something too, that Phil was one of the most talented. He just cared more about his duck call business than playing football. So
he did well.
He did well.
He did well.
I can't say it was a bad call.
I saw that
he
on
did well.
Sadie's Instagram. I don't follow a lot of, or really any celebrities on socials, but I follow Sadie. I like her.
Yeah, well, most celebrities aren't famous for being,
genuine people.
Genuinely good people.
That's true. She's got positive.
Except Timothy. I'm learning Timothy Chalamet is a pretty swell guy.
That's Willy Wonka, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Young
learning
Willy
he's actually
Wonka.
pretty cool.
I know there's other Willy Wonkas. I'm talking about from the Wonka movie.
There's
That's
clips
good.
coming out of him that he's just literally like a
Keanu
Scotty
Reeves.
Scheffler of actors.
Keanu Reeves.
Another
is
Keanu Reeves,
a
yeah.
good one. Chad gets told he looks like Keanu Reeves a lot.
And more because of his fighting in The Matrix, but also because we both have foreheads. So
we digress.
I don't want to rush, but I hate that in the back of my mind I do have to do some work stuff. So I want to move on to we've been talking about NIL and the repercussions it could have.
Yes.
In terms of what OU is going to have to do moving forward, and what changes they're going to have to make moving forward to be able to continue to compete on the financial side of things. What am I missing?
Make us smaller.
Oh, I'm also going to be better at that. Not that small. Where's it? Boom.
Whee!
There we go. How about
Sorry.
that? Sorry about that. Mark and them are
needs a
watching. I'm
producer.
sorry. Yep. Dude, I don't. No joke. I used to wonder what producers do. Everything. I'm trying to change our camera angles just while I'm talking. It's brutal, but I also have fun doing it. So, wanted to talk about this 5% layoff we had. It was about 15 positions out of the 320 something that we have, and I don't know if there was. It's kind of and Joe Castiglione says it in his post about why they had to let go of so many.
Oh, for the record, people, 5% of the athletic department.
Yeah.
The athletic department
I don't know where
was let go. So people's jobs have been lost. So you said 10 to 15?
15 total.
15 people's jobs.
Yeah, it was 15 total. And I have the story here. Just give me 1 second while I am searching for it.
I find it kind of strange that we just let go 15 people, yet we're hiring somebody from UCLA.
Well, yeah, we'll get to
player
that.
Personnel development.
Yeah. And what is he going to be doing right now? I mean, we're not really...
It even said his role is not secure. But I will say, he's worked with Ben Arbuckle in the past doing like player personnel type stuff. He's worked for the Oakland Raiders, so we're trying to get a new NFL model. Well, you want people who have NFL experience. I get that. And with that, he did like, I believe it was like he did personal scouting reports. He did, I looked it up if I could remember it.
Well, and like it's like they say at this level, it's all about comfort with your personnel. You know, they know each other.
Yeah, he did like life skills presentations, managed departmental databases, and did like personal scouting reports. Whatever any of that means, I don't know. But it was just kind of weird to me that I saw that we were hiring someone else without even a clear role, but let go 15 other people.
Yep. The story, if you want to, Joe Castiglione's statement here, and we're kind of go, I want to click on it, and then I can share it, just to kind of go through it real quick. Was basically, they're doing what they feel like is necessary for the athletic department moving forward. Here we go. So you can see, first off, if you want to know his email, there it is.
You can look it up online anyway.
Yeah. It's he says, "Dear colleagues, I write today with deep respect for the incredible work and dedication each of you brings to OU athletics." That's called framing. At Oklahoma, we have a track record of leading through change, constantly strategizing about how we can secure immediate and long-term success. As we all know, the modern era of college athletics requires embracing a new blueprint and reimagining our strategy to keep OU competitive. The dawn of revenue sharing with student athletes marks a critical moment, bringing us into a new era of competitiveness. So the framing is there. We're doing this because we're leading the pack. We're going to be the first to make actions of this sort because we think they're necessary. So don't freak out whenever I get to this part right here where I say, to that end, we are further restructuring and streamlining our staff functions so that we can strategically reinvest in priority areas that strengthen the rest of our department and support all of our sports. Regrettably, this action requires a limited reduction in force. This difficult decision was made with great consideration, understanding it impacts our colleagues and their families. I want you to know that I am adjusting my compensation to reflect these realities as well. His compensation hasn't been relevant to him in how long? The dude's worth millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. Yeah. It's like when Michael Dell didn't take a pay.
It's like what can you pay for $2 million that you can't buy? Like what can you buy with $2 million that you can't buy for 1.5, something like that?
Yeah, it's just like, well, and a lot. I don't even know. A lot of that is just.
And I'm like,
but I do respect. I mean, I do.
I would not want this job. Firing people would not be something I'd want to do. No. Which I don't even know if he was doing the direct layoffs or if somebody under him was doing them. But I hate it for the people that lost their jobs. But it's, again, like he says, it's another change that's coming with NIL. Now it's costing people jobs.
Just to finish it out, it says this is the only expected. Well, there you go. There's a qualifier. Expected reduction in force for our department. We remain steadfast in our commitment to you and the mission that drives us, serving our student athletes and representing the University of Oklahoma with pride and integrity. I ask for your understanding and support for each other and especially our impacted colleagues. They have contributed to our shared success, and we are committed to doing all we can to support them during this transition. This is an unprecedented moment in our industry, but I'm confident that together we will continue to uphold the standards and excellence that define OU athletics. With all sincere appreciation, Joe. So yeah, like we've talked about, there it is. There's going to be lost jobs, and one day this is going to say, to that end, we are further restructuring our athletics programs and taking away. I won't say the ones that we're pretty sure that are going to be taken away, but there's going to be a lot, and people are going to start freaking out at that point. They're going to start saying, "Why are we paying all these coaches all this? Why are we doing X, Y, and Z? If the players can't, you should save that money for to pay for all the other sports that you're getting rid of." It's coming. It's the old adage, you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Right.
People ask for a lot of what they don't realize is going to end up happening to a lot of these athletes, which is sort of sad. Actually, very sad. But
right. I hate it. Make it smaller.
I am. Yeah,
okay. I hate it for the people that lost their jobs. And I understand writing an email that's not hard. And yes, he is taking a cut at the end of the day. That is what a leader does to an extent. I know you said, in theory, you don't have to worry about it once you're worth so much, truly. But
well, and to be fair, I don't know if he's that. I mean, that's still probably a lot of money. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
It's a lot of money compared to what we have.
Yeah.
But I'm saying though, to me, that's still what leaders do. Is they also take cuts.
Sure.
We know Brent Venables donated some of his own money toward the NIL. I mean, but at the end of the day, it's just. It is sad for the people that lost their jobs. It kind of stinks, too, because there's probably hundreds of people that work in the athletic department.
Yeah, well, we have it right here. The number was 302.
And you're one of the 15 that got laid off?
5% of the 302 full-time non-student department employees are cut. That equates to approximately 15 positions.
Like that, I mean, that kind of stinks to be that 15. Besides just losing your job,
Right.
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely. Yeah.
You're the bottom 5%. But I just, you know, it is what it is. It's just another change that we have no control over that we can hope in the future gets readjusted. I think we've already mentioned it. Once sports are getting cut and it starts to run into a huge Title IX, when you're having Title IX conflicts, then maybe then the government will step in. When kids are getting in trouble for taxes, maybe the government will step in then. I don't really, maybe when schools are going bankrupt from revenue sharing, maybe the government will step in then. I don't know. I feel like it's going to have to get a whole lot worse than just 5% layoffs for many universities, which stinks for those people that are losing their jobs. But man, yes, Jonathan, you're right. The guy from UCLA was hired as a director of player personnel, with the money saved. But we were just saying though, like his role,
Stacey Ford was his name.
Stacey Ford, yeah. His role is just, it even said in everything we looked at, his role is really very much unclear. So whatever director of player personnel means and entails is yet to be known. But apparently they think it's needed. Apparently they think it's great.
Drew Hill has the director of player personnel at OU right now. So
I don't know.
I don't know. But
if we're going to NFL model and this man has NFL experience, then
yeah, and it's all comfortable. You want to be comfortable
also,
with your staff, and if
man,
Nagy trusts them, he trusts them.
True, no, 100%. But also one man making the amount of 15 others.
I don't know if it's just that. There's also raises for the other coaches we have, and then we also remember like the salaries for like it talks to like Nate Drilling, and the other coaches that we have brought in.
That's true.
So
that's true.
You know, it's just it's hard because each year you're having to pay more to retain what you already have, so that they don't get poached from other universities. And so, even though we surpassed our in like 2023 to 2024, we raised $110 million. That surpassed the $109 million that we raised in 2022 to 2023. So, you know, are you going to be able to keep surpassing the number that you're raising in order to keep improving or keep giving raises to the coaches? You know, where does the fatigue set in? At what point does the fatigue set in?
Last year,
all that, you know, and yeah, that's the
but that's the
wild
thing. People are like, oh great, we're losing like some big names like a Danny and a Billy and like Ethan, who just had been there 4 years. We were losing people, so in theory, people were like, oh great, we're gonna have more money for more players. But it wasn't even in that. It was any money that we earned and gathered went towards players on our roster asking for more money, and not just asking for that base. Like I already said in another show, it's not asking for that 2% raise as normal people get every year.
Yeah.
Most of us don't even get that every year. But in theory, what you're quote unquote entitled to every year as a normal person, they're asking for 100% more money, 50% more money, astronomically more money than just that little 2% raise.
Right.
And again, like that's why some people got let go, because like you're not worth it. And no offense to those people, but that's part of the game now too. Is you're not worth that raise.
Right.
You're not worth the car and the driver and the houses. You're not worth it. Apparently,
there was some changes to even responsibilities for student employees, and I'm gonna have to look into this about what they changed and all of it. But maybe some of that athletic or that some of the jobs that those people did are going to be handled by student kid or
by
students
free interns who don't get paid.
Yeah. So an equipment manager shared the email. That's funny. And it was basically outlining that some of the responsibilities are being moved to students. So interesting. That's probably of that, and it's the entire athletics department. So it's not just football. Like they gave a raise to I can never say our women's basketball coach's last name, but Jenny
Veronchik.
Veronchik, yeah. They gave a raise to her, deservedly
to be fair,
so.
It's pronounced a little bit differently. Kind of I feel like from like different people you say it. Veronchik. Brinchick, I've heard.
I
say Coach Jenny or JB because I always I always also mess up. She deserves it too, though. I think she's phenomenal. I think our women's coaches are phenomenal. Period.
Yeah, they're all they're all doing pretty well, and we're about to talk about a women's coach doing well, one who I had faith in the whole year.
Oh my gosh!
They wanted to doubt, and I said, "Don't worry, Patty, you'll get there. Just keep doing your thing." Also, I just want to bring this up because this is just almost not even believable. In case you live under a rock, the University of Oklahoma softball team
It's pretty
known to be pretty good. Made it to the College World Series again. Now let's talk about the in a row. Let's talk about the last 10 years.
Okay.
Now Alabama, pretty good. They had a girl named Montana Fouts.
I'm proud of you.
They made it 10 years of the last 10.
No,
wait. Most wins. My bad. That's their most wins in the College World Series in the last 10 years.
10 wins.
UCLA. They have the most championships of any program in history.
Good for you.
Dude, I bet
You're
Derek's just punching, like giving me chocolate.
My brother's
fist
like
bumps right
softball
now.
super fan, so
dude, he's
like
a savant. He knows a lot too. So does my father-in-law, actually. They all do. But anyways, Florida State had one of the all-time great pitcher names in the history of the game. They have 16 wins. My mom's gonna hate that joke.
He's referring to Sandercock.
She was a good pitcher. Florida. I don't really know any Florida players. Do you know any?
Huh?
Florida players. Who's like?
The pitcher they have right now is pretty good.
What's her name?
I just went blank.
That's a weird name.
Wow.
I just went blank.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, has 18 wins the last 10 years.
Where's my brother?
In Oklahoma. 37! More than double! Goodness gracious.
That is crazy.
37 wins. That's like what?
Oh my gosh. Sorry, I'm really upset I gave her name because I talked about her the whole.
This is kind of funny.
Roth something.
37 wins, and they made it again. So they're gonna get at least 38. You would think, unless they get what?
Keegan Rothrock.
Keegan Rothrock.
Rothrock.
Well, Keegan, you got there.
Good night.
There's your shout out.
It's Roth. It's Roth.
Free.
She's pretty good.
So T, lead away. Yes. OU makes it. Let me know.
Get off this.
Let me know, what do you think about... First off...
And make it smaller.
First off,
Biddity bobbity boom.
There we go. Yeah, no joke. I said in the beginning of the year, now you may have had higher expectations. You knew more about the team, to be fair to me. I did also support Patty and said she would get it done. I do want to say, side note, Patty had a cool interview I thought that was interesting where she talked about how much she's loved this year because she's been able to actually coach. And it's kind of funny, my dad, when he was in before he went to coach at Oklahoma Baptist, he was at Ardmore. And that was back when Ardmore had Jermaine Gresham, and they had like 11 players, 8 of which signed like Division I scholarships in 5A. They were the best team in the state of any class, and Ardmore was in 2005.
Unfortunately.
Better than Jinx, better than all of them. Unfortunately, Jermaine tore his ACL against Bigsby in the semifinal, or in the game before Bigsby in the semifinal. Our best defensive lineman.
Thanks a lot, Koida.
Yeah, our best offensive lineman was injured. Our best linebacker got injured that game. So they had so many injuries. They had 2 players going to Missouri. Jermaine went to OU.
The guy from Missouri was injured too, I believe.
Yeah, Jesse Hernandez was it? Yeah, I believe it was his name.
Ooh, my brain went to Aaron.
Anyways, but my dad was talking about how it was fun that year, but it was also you were so much better than everybody. It was just show up, really, a kind of deal.
Been there.
It's just like so it wasn't like you were really going to test out your ability to coach. And Patty kind of talked about last year. She's like, listen, it's obviously she loves the girl she coaches. And people try to twist. If you just have like common sense and can understand what she's saying, you get it. It's like she was saying it was just we were so good. I had 4 of the greatest softball players to ever play on one team for 4 years, but especially last year with the experience that they had. And she's like, I literally it was more just go out there and do what y'all already know how to do. There wasn't much coaching or how to get through tough moments or how to do all of this difficult stuff.
Right. Exactly. And that's not to say that she didn't have game plans.
Right.
It was basically, I have a game plan that execute at first try. Or they already understand that that's the game plan. And then they execute it the first try.
Right.
They're emotionally mature. They're situationally mature. So it's not like, in situations where you have to make a tough call as a coach, like, hey, like you go out to the mound, like, hey, like this is the position we're in. If it's hit here, remember we're gonna go to third and then go to first. We're gonna home. Like they already knew that. So like that coaching aspect is gone, and you see that a lot. You see coaches stop, go to the circle to gather to talk about their team let's talk about the situations here and what we're gonna do next. And that's what she's referring to. And I said I've been there. Like my high school coach has said the same thing. Is like, T, y'all senior year, y'all just knew it. Y'all knew how to play. I didn't have to do a lot. I gave y'all a game plan, y'all executed. Even though I had plan B and C, we never had to go there because y'all always did plan A perfectly.
Right.
And that's what Patty is saying, where this year she's got a young team, not maybe as emotionally mature, needing, to be calmed down in big moments.
Sure, yeah.
Or just needing to have that extra pep talk or, making, I say freshman mistakes. Not that all of them are freshmen, but there are a lot of freshmen or sophomores. So, they're, making mistakes like that and having to go through that. But man, I personally, for me, they've exceeded my expectations.
Right.
Just because you're right, we lost some of the greatest softball players in history.
Mm-hmm.
And especially a class. We lost the greatest class in history to win 4 in a row. I didn't think we'd win the SEC. Maybe that's my own doubt. I just know the SEC's the hardest conference when it comes to softball, and that shows with who has made it to the College World Series. 5 out of the 8 teams are SEC teams, 4 of whom on one side of the bracket, which is also bonkers in and of itself.
Yeah, it is. Great.
But that's a hard conference, and we lost everybody, and we were going to be super wrong. I didn't think we were going to get blown out. I didn't think we weren't going to be. I thought we'd be competitive. I just thought we would just be just a step behind some of the more experienced teams. But I was wrong. They win the SEC regular season. They made it to the conference championship game, got deemed co-champs with people who couldn't make it out of the regional for sorry, that was mean for me. But they deemed co-champs because of the weather. They weren't able to play that championship game. And now they skip their way through the postseason so far with 4 out of their 5 games being run rules. And they're heading for the 9th straight year of the Women's College World Series. That is unbelievable. And I don't even think
really
now,
is.
like, and I will say at the beginning of the year, I even mentioned, no, if we make it to the World Series, I'll be happy with that. I'm still very happy, don't get me wrong, but I legitimately think we have a place to win this.
Yeah.
Like,
but
I truly, truly think that we are in a place that we can actually win. Now, that's not to say I don't think any of the teams in it right now can't win it too. Because Ole Miss is hot right now. They're an unseeded team. Wait. Yes, they were the unseeded team that made it to the World Series. Knockout number 4, Arkansas, who was also a hot team. I mean, it's all about who is peaking at the right time and who is good under pressure situations, which is where I will be interested to see how we do because we are so young. I mean,
right.
But I mean, we do have Cassidy and Ella who have been here before as freshmen, and now they're sophomores. Of course, Nellie's technically been there, but she hasn't played in it. She's our redshirt freshman captain. Sam Landry, she's older, more mature, but she hasn't been there yet. Sid Sanders, of course, she's been there with us, so she's going to be a leader going forward. But even like our older girls haven't been in this situation, with the exception of Sid.
Mm-hmm.
So, just saying, we can do it. Is it going to be easy? Absolutely not. But it's not impossible, and I'm really, really excited. I didn't think we were going to go out there and put it on Alabama that second game,
Right.
like
Yeah.
we did.
Yeah.
Like I looked over at my mom and my brother who was sitting next in the 3rd inning. I'm like, what is happening? In the best way. Like we scored 8 runs in the 3rd inning. Everybody was getting hits. It was like freaking Oprah was out there. You
Yeah.
get a hit. You get a hit. You get a hit. You get a hit. It was great. And we had Nellie's had a home run. Ella had a home run. Gabby Garcia, who is not a Freshman of the Year finalist, which is the crime in and of itself, had 2 home runs. But one of the most impressive things to me, and this is the type of details that are going to win you championships, was Ailana Agbagyani getting a squeeze bunt down.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you can't miss. You have to get that sucker down because that girl from 3rd is flying home. She's not stopping. And if you don't get it down or at least foul it off, she's out.
There was a sorry, I didn't mean to. I was listening to you. I didn't mean if
You're
you
good.
want me to look like I wasn't. I wanted to, this is where a producer would be nice. I wanted to show you this college softball coverage or whatever on Twitter. I thought it was interesting.
Oh, this person is an OU hater.
Yeah, and they put, I don't think people realize there's legitimately a chance OU wins 8 natties in a row if they win it this year. Like, we were so, yeah, and you may have mentioned this, how many freshmen are on our team right now? And it's
Several.
like you said, it's not even that they're freshmen. It's that they're
freshmen
freshmen, but
freshmen
also
and sophomores? It's a
Yes.
majority of our team playing right now.
and you're hitting walk-off home runs in the SEC championship as a true freshman. Like, it's not even that they're good. It's they're good making plays in the highest pressure moments.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's got to make you sit. And it was in front of Texas. They got to be thinking, not again. Not a 5th year in a row. And if they win it this year, they really might win 8 in a row.
And I think people were actually looking for the fall Oklahoma this year, which, again, if I wasn't an OU fan, maybe I'd feel the same.
Oh, Patty
But-
might get 66% of UCLA's program national titles just in her career.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
That's
I want to
wild.
see her break the all-time record for wins, and she's close.
Also, there's a softball player down in Ardmore, pretty good. She's like 10? How old is
I didn't know if you're talking about Abby or Alexa.
Abby? Both are good. Alexa's good too.
Like
Both of them.
10 and 11.
Both of them. Yeah, both
10
of
and
them.
12.
So there you go. Put your feelers out.
Anyways.
One of them's dominating tournament ball right now.
Anyways, back to softball. But no, that's a point. And this person hates OU. So for him to say this, you know what? I love it. I don't know how many freshmen, but there are only 3 seniors. That's a lot coming back. No, exactly, Ryan. So Nelly is our third redshirt freshman. Gabby's at short freshman. Ilana is at second. She is a junior. Sid is at first, which also coordinates with Sydney Barker. But let's just say Sid Sanders, for the sake of argument, is a senior at first. Sam in the circle is a senior, but Lowry has come in. She's been a freshman. Kirsten Dill is a junior. Emerling is a junior. Don't quote me on that one. Cassidy's in the outfield, and she is a sophomore. Sydney Barker has been in the outfield, and she is a freshman. She's also gone with Hannah Core, who I believe is a junior, and Abby Dayton, I believe, is a junior.
Boom. I don't even think we've asked you, though, how do you...
But anyways.
What do you think of the matchup? I know that we got... I'm going to pull up... While you're talking about Oklahoma's matchup, I'm going to pull up the
so, yes, OU
tournament.
has a lot of talent coming back, on top of having the number 1 class coming in next year with, I believe, 4 5-star recruits and 1 4-star recruit. Hate us. I understand.
You got to be punching air at some point, man.
Man, wait. I just want to keep talking about that game, though, because I gave my shout-out to Ilana Agayani for that squeeze bunt, because things like that are what can win you games. That could be that one run you needed to put yourself in a lead. And then Abby Dayton's also been one of my favorite players this year. I'm biased to anybody that's 5'3" and playing Division I sports, because I was 5'3", so I respect a little athlete.
That's awesome.
Because while she's tiny, she's mighty, and she does her job, too. Like, she got 2 base hits that were able to score or move runners around, or just to, she's in that 9 hole. She's reminding me a lot of Riley Boone. Like, she would get the party started, had that same type of energy. Her job was just to get on base and then let everybody else bring her home, because she's got the speed. If you get a double, she's gonna make it from first all the way home. And I don't know, I really liked her too. I want to get. It's not always about scoring home runs. We all love home runs. Don't get me wrong. We all love it, but plays like Abby Dayton getting base hits or getting that squeeze down, those are what truly will win you championships. Those are the things you need. Those are the things that the everyday plays that you need, not always the wow Hollywood moments. Now, I hope we have a lot of those, which leads you into talking about the matchups,
which are going to be
let's show it.
interesting. Why is this not showing?
I don't know.
Oh, there we go. Had to go to...
I'm not in charge of the bounce.
Boom,
I'm in charge of telling you how to use the mouse.
Dude, getting absolutely quick at it, though. Here we go.
Right, so here we go. The final teams. I would also like to say, I believe 5 of the 8 super regionals went into game 3. It just shows you how much parity there is in softball. There was only 1 run rule in all of the super regionals, and that was us to Alabama.
Also, 5 of the 8 teams left are SEC teams.
And 5 of the 8 teams left are SEC teams, absolutely. And what's kind of ironic is apparently if you win game 1, you have like an 80% chance of winning the series. Texas, Tennessee, and I believe UCLA all broke that. They were that 20%, so they're adjusting that. Let me make sure. I wrote it in a note.
20%.
Yeah, Texas, UCLA, and Tennessee all beat the odds, literally.
I will say Tennessee gave us problems. They gave us fits because that girl throws gas.
But that's, yes.
They
gave us problems.
We struggled against
we
them.
won the series. They won the series.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we're going to be out. We're going to be, like, honest, absolutely. But Alabama also won the series against us.
Yeah,
so I kind of find it
people.
nice from our perspective to be able to play somebody we've already played who did beat us in the series, who were very excited when they won on our own home turf.
True.
Because I'm really hoping the Sooners still have a taste for revenge.
Yeah. By the way, and I'm sure there's a reason for this, why is every good team in the top part of this bracket?
Because the second half had people not do what they're supposed to do and make it out of their regional or super regional.
Oh, yeah.
Because the ones A&M would have been on the other side.
Yikes.
Arkansas would have been on the other side.
Yikes.
Who was the 5 seed?
It was
Florida State?
Yeah.
Does that sound right? They would have been on this side. LSU could have been on this side as a 10 seed. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who got kicked out.
LSU.
So kind of crazy. Which, again, fantastic for the sport that there's this much parity, that there's been a lot of game threes. That's already been a lot of upsets.
True.
Going to be a very interesting
very true.
World Series.
What?
And again, because I said I don't think it's OU's to lose so much as it's anybody's to win this year.
It really. And
Every other year I've been like, this is OU's World Series to lose because we've just
Right.
been that much better than everybody. I mean, we have the all-time win record. We have the same classes coming back and back and back and back and back. So,
right.
but man, it's really going to be who gets hot, who makes the right hits when they're supposed to.
Well, and it seems like for all the teams this year, if a team has a really good pitcher, their offense isn't great, or if a team has a really good offense, their pitching isn't the best, or vice versa. Like even with Tennessee, or even with Texas Tech having
They won their games
Kennedy.
like 1-0, 2-0, 3-1.
I can't think of Kennedy. What was
Najee Kennedy.
Najee Kennedy? Yeah.
I think I say Najee
Great.
wrong too. I've heard her name pronounced, and so apologies to her.
But yeah, great pitcher, but it's just if they're not getting, if she gives up hits at all or runs, they struggle because they can't score a lot. You know?
Yeah, because they're not as offensively sound as they are with her.
I'm not sure.
We did not read the teams off. Obviously, if you're watching live, you can see them.
Yeah.
But for those that are watching through or listening through one of the podcast channels, whether it's Apple or Spotify, I'm going to go ahead and read off the teams. We have Texas, Florida, Tennessee, Oklahoma, all in the top half of the bracket. They're the 6, 3, 7, and 2 seeds respectively. So basically, who was supposed to make it? On the bottom half of the bracket, you have Ole Miss, Texas Tech, Oregon, UCLA, which are unseeded 12, 16, and 9 respectively as well. So definitely a big drop in the seedings. And I put that on my Twitter, like one half of the bracket is substantially heavier than the other. And I'm just solely talking seed numbers. I'm not neglecting who's hot right now. I'm not saying this is anybody's, like, just kind of saying nobody else has a chance to win necessarily. But just if you just look at seed numbers alone, it's pretty bonkers. But keep in mind, in Saturday's games from the winner's bracket, the loser of the Saturday game, they'll cross brackets.
Yep.
Which I do find interesting because in a way I do feel that 2 out of the top bracket are going to be in the championship.
Yes.
I could be wrong. That's, again, I'm not trying to count out any other teams or like talk trash on them at all. But
Right.
I just think that those teams are better. But I also think they have more of the experience.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Of being on this stage. Texas Tech has Kennedy, and she's phenomenal. But like you said, I don't know if I trust them actually having to score more runs. So if a team does figure out, like UCLA has a lot of experience with Kennedy, and I don't think they're afraid of her. If they start getting a lot of hits, I don't know if Texas Tech's offenses can match that. They might be able to. They might prove me wrong. But that's
Ole
just
Miss
how I feel.
or Tennessee?
Ole Miss, honestly, though, their bats have been hot. I didn't expect to see what I saw from Ole Miss in this postseason. So, confident bat, doesn't really matter who's pitching. Sometimes you could close your eyes and swing and you're hitting.
Right.
Oregon, I honestly haven't gotten to watch them. I'm not sure. They pretty much kicked the crap out of Liberty. I don't really have a feel for Oregon, truly, and I don't think I have an honest take to give for them. Their games were a lot later. I didn't really watch them as much. Texas, man, Reese Atwood's really freaking good. Mia Scott's really freaking good. They have 2 experienced players that played in the national championship game last year that are going to be looking for that win. I hope they don't get it. But they're going to be really, really good. They're going to be competitive. Tegan Cavan, she's the freshman pitcher. She can be phenomenal. Florida, of course, has Rothrock. That is really hard to say. Rothrock, who is an experienced pitcher, throws hard, throws fast, has the leadership skills. We all know Jocelyn Erickson at catcher and has a good bat. Florida also took a series against us, so they're going to be hungry, and they're going to be a very good competitor. Texas-Florida matchup's going to be great. It's going to be at 11 o'clock on Thursday, which is trash, but I digress. Tennessee, we've already seen them again. Fantastic pitcher in Carlin Pickens. Throws hard. Throws a rise ball like nobody's business. However, I do think if we keep our bats going and we are confident at the plate, we have a chance to rattle her. And I think you can see that in her sometimes. If people like if she's throwing hard, and nobody's getting hits, and nobody's if nobody's connecting with her, seems to get a little more down on herself. She reminds me of a lot of, and I'm sorry if this is rude, but like Nicole May would be sometimes. Like when she was hot, like in her zone, 100%, nobody's stopping her.
Right.
But it seems like at times confidence can waver, which is, just unfair because they are amazing pitchers. Duh.
Right.
But I mean, it is a confidence thing. I feel like if you can get in
For
her
sure,
head
yeah,
a little bit,
for sure.
Pickens, then we have a good shot. Tennessee's also good at the plate as well. So, man, it's going to be a good matchup. I really, really hope the Sooners are ready are really going to be locked in and have some revenge. We had the chance to beat them in the series. It's just, it seemed like we could not get our bats going. Or we
Right.
didn't have timely hits, left too many people on base. And I really hope we don't repeat that. I haven't really seen that much of late. Again, postseason. I feel like we have stepped up, but also we haven't faced a pitcher quite like what we're going to see with Tennessee. Alabama's pitchers were good. They were really good against us in the series. And I don't know if we just were more prepared this time, more confident this time at home. Like, I don't know what it was. We put it on them this
Right.
time.
Yeah.
We did not struggle at the plate like we did during the season. And I don't know. It's going to be a good matchup. Unfortunately, it's at 1:30 on a Thursday.
Finished.
So
Give me your predictions on there. I've got to head to the.
I know.
Got to get working. So
I
give me
think-
your OU Tennessee, and then I got to give them our OU
I'm going to
men's
say
golf.
I want OU to win it all. So I'm
Yeah.
just going to say OU the whole way.
Boom.
But I've already said it's anybody's to have.
Awesome. All right. Wanted to give you all an update since we're talking about just national championships here. Oklahoma. Did you get all your notes? I know you took time going through them.
I think I
want
did.
to make sure you got all of them in.
I think I did.
I don't want to cut you short. All right. Well, just in case you can add it on in the back. OU men's golf at the national championship right now. They're in 5th place. Top 8 moves to match play, where you can have a chance to win the national title as a team. As it stands right now, they're in 5th by 11 shots. So, unless something goes terribly wrong in their final 4 holes, they'll be in match play. Right now, they're stacked at the 6th seed. Oklahoma State, or at the 5th seed. Sorry, Oklahoma is. Oklahoma State, the 4th seed. So you may get a first round Oklahoma State versus Oklahoma match play, which would be pretty cool. Little Bedlam match play to lead off the national championship. That would be pretty sweet. Texas looks like they're going to be in. Right now, it looks like Arizona State, the 1 seed, right now at 12 under. Auburn, then Florida, Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, Texas, Virginia, and rounding out the top 8 is Ole Miss. Florida State not making it. They have the number 1 amateur in the world, which is just, I can't believe that. Luke Clanton, my bad. Number 1 amateur in the world, I believe, or top 4 now. That stuff switches a lot at the top. But they're not going to make it to match play, which is sort of surprising. They were pretty high seed coming in, but it is what it is. It's golf for you. Also, Memorial Day champions.
Oh.
One half of them. I tried to find our picture. I don't know where it is now. But anyways, yeah.
I don't
Married
know.
a champ.
Nobody knows what that means.
Lakeview Golf Club, one of the biggest tournaments in the country.
No, it's not.
In Southern
In the
America.
county? In the county?
In the county, yeah. In the county country, same
No.
thing, basically. They, interviews afterwards were crazy. Media everywhere, really fighting them off. But, it comes with the show. Scotty Scheffler deals with it. I got to deal with it. It's one of those things. So, yeah. Are there any actual legitimate points in here you want to address before we call it? Because I know there was some.
Someone said I wanted to play Jordy. I think it would have been good for the sport, but again, I think Nebraska lived and died by Jordy and didn't have the offense to overcome it.
Hey, Tattoo, first off, you're not going to miss our light we added behind T right here. Okay? That's an upgrade. Hope you're doing well, by the way. Tegan is a sophomore. Yep.
Tegan is a sophomore. Oh, did I say she was a freshman?
She throws.
Sorry.
No, I don't
I
know.
may have. She was a freshman last year. She's definitely a sophomore. But she's still really good. Do you say mature like you say amateur?
Amateur.
Amateur? No, I say amateur.
Bloody amateur.
Oh my gosh, now I don't know. Anyways,
Amateur.
not the point. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. I am working Thursday too, but I'll look up the score. I work Thursday. I have the radio on like 24/7
Yeah.
at my work, so I'm probably just gonna turn the radio on to the sports.
And I would watch the
and just
game,
hope
but
between my patients, I'll run over and check the score momentarily.
I'd watch the game, but I get 500
Periodically,
texts.
not momentarily.
I had 272 one game this year. I can't remember which one, and it was only y'all talking about the game.
You're welcome.
Just watch. They're going to end up winning. Just watch it.
Anyways, but Stacy said, everyone like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for streaming. Congratulations for winning the golf tournament with your pal.
Hey, there we go. Thank you. Yeah, we played well. Had to shoot 9 under. Had to come back from one back, but built different.
You're so annoying.
Can't help it. Birdied the last 5 holes.
Congratulations.
Had to do it.
I actually really am proud of him because he never plays golf anymore. So the fact that he went out there and actually won a tournament is pretty.
I could go chase the dream
good
again.
Good for you. No, your dream was to become a lawyer,
so.
and that's where we're at.
Yeah, it's true. Hey, we really appreciate it. I'm sorry if I sounded rushed a little bit, but it's the realities of work. I really don't. T's put a lot of work into. Just making sure all the softball stuff and other sports gets covered. Is there anything else that I didn't want to mean to rush you through? If I did, is there anything else you wanted to point out? Or
no, the Thunder are playing right now, so I would really enjoy watching them. But yeah, like the video while you're at it. Just do it. I'll give you 3 seconds to like it. 3, 2, 1. Like it. Throw a comment in the actual comments, not the live chat, if you will. You can throw us a boomer, throw us a sooner, give us your prediction of who will win the Women's College World Series. Say Chad's shirt is cool. Say it's dumb. I don't care.
Check it out.
I love it personally, but if you don't like it, tell us. We don't care. Comments are fine. A comment is a comment.
That really is true. That's funny.
Subscribe to our channel. Subscribe to the Voice of College Football. Look us up on socials. Look up the Voice of College Football on socials. And we will be back next. Woohoo! OKC's up 22-17. Hopefully I'm not bad luck when I start watching. Yeah. But yeah, come back next Monday at 7 p.m. Hopefully we'll be talking about OU softball going to the championship series by then.
Ooh.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
If not, then I will just cry on air. But y'all support women's sports, support OU softball. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great postseason. It's already been a postseason. Great World Series. Check up on them. I can't talk anymore. Anyways, we'll see you next Monday.
You guys rock. God bless.